Go then. Our partnership with Curl Canada is phenomenal. I mean, to be able to have a partnership like that at the national level, to be a part of the events that take place across Canada is phenomenal. To have our product available in those venues is phenomenal. But it really is. Curling is really, for us, it's a grassroots sport. To be able to connect within the communities that are supporting the teams, just like yourselves, the clubs, the provincial level organizations as well. For our ability to be partners with Curl Manitoba, Curl Sask, Curl Alberta, and Curl BC.
It's an exciting sport to watch. It fits really well with our brands. There's lots of people at the rinks watching you guys curl who are sipping on an 016, which fits really well for us. And have the opportunity to celebrate with you guys makes it even that much better at the end of the day.
So Colton Flasch with his first stone here. Looks to be sitting 2 already. Chance to draw in, sit 3. Actually, with the amount of curl that there's been in this ice so far in the opening 2 days, he might be able to get a good piece around that stone in the 8-foot and create a lot of problems here for Tyler Clybrik. Had a chance to draw for 2 with his final stone in the opening end. Came up just a little bit short. See if he can make the adjustment here. And you can see Colton waving. He's a little concerned he might be strong here. Does not want to end up behind the tee line on this. And this is going to be a little deep. Dustin Kaltoff meeting it at the tee line, but now Catlin Schneider jumping in as well. I don't want to leave it right behind the button. It'll slide to the back 8-foot and does. As you can see, bury behind that stone at the top 8-foot. Kleibrink team looking at a few options here. I think the hit and roll off the one on the wings is a little too flat. Could play the double run. For those of you who were watching last night, I think it was about the fourth, perhaps fifth end before Colton Flasch had a chance for a draw. This is his third one here already this game. A little light on his first, a little deep on the second. He's got another chance to play the exact same shot he played on his first one here. And brings that stone in, sits it right on the corner of the button. Boy, I don't know if he could have put that in a better spot. He's actually left it in front of the tee line. Tyler can't just follow it down. If he nudges it, I'm not sure he's got shot rock. It'd be really tough to pick it across the top of your own and pretty risky. You play any kind of a hit on that stone that was just delivered by Colton Flasch. When it jams on the red-blue combination behind it, the red probably goes, and if you lose your shooter, you could be giving up perhaps as many as 3. So looking at the Kyler looking at the red onto red guard onto the red in the 12-foot, onto the blue in the 8-foot, onto the stone on the button that was just delivered, and hopefully you could spill both of them, and that's for 1. Colton Flasch put that rock in such a good spot. You come down and nudge it, it's going to go onto the red stone. It's still going to have a piece of the button at the back, and I don't know that your shooter would have it beat. You almost might have to play a very wide in-turn draw. Just try to nudge the edge of that blue stone and spin to the corner of the pinhole. That for 2, you could hate to hand that opportunity back if you were Kleibrink. So looking definitely to nudge the stone that was just delivered by Colton Flasch. This is curling a lot earlier. I don't think this is getting by. So they call the brush off. There's no point trying to nudge the blue one up. Just wrecks on his own stone, and it will be a steal of 1. Colton Flasch missed the opportunity for 2 in the first end, but an outstanding draw with his final stone. Picks up the steal here in the second end, and he'll have a 2-0 lead going into the third.
Imagine a place with endless possibilities. Imagine a place where people come together to build families, businesses, and communities. Imagine a place where small-town values and progressive qualities are in perfect harmony. Imagine a place rich with so much vitality. Imagine your future in Martensville.
The reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
Third end just underway here. Colton Flasch coming off a big steal in the second. Falls the tight center. The Kleibrink team now looking to come around. Well, we had an overcurl on their final stone last and a little bit of an overcurl in this one, a little light as well. So now he's left a second center guard. The Clybrik team had a little bit of pressure on the Flasch team in the first end until the final stone when they gave Colton Flasch an opportunity for two. He wasn't able to capitalize there, but everything has gone the Flasch team's way since then. They had big pressure on last end, an outstanding final shot by Colton Flasch to set up the steal. And a chance here already in the third to put pressure on again with a come around on those double guards just off the center line. A lot of room by the guards, but we know these rocks finish hard. Brings that into the corner of the forefoot. You can see from that camera angle, well buried now. A little bit of room on the intern side to try to get to the corner of that, perhaps have shot rock as well. Movement comes down, nudges the stone back to the back 8 foot. Shooter stays well behind cover, and now it's Clybrik sitting one. They're going to lock this one right on the face. Nudges it back a little bit. Could maybe pick up on the mics. I heard Kyler ask them if they wanted the choices were to double peel or to draw again. And it was a quick discussion at the other end, and only manages to get the one guard. Kevin Marsh now with a chance to make the exact same shot he made on his first one. He could nudge that stone up to a freeze. Still has a guard up front. Going to be a little bit light, and they're trying to make a decision where they wanted to end it up. I think the brushers were hoping it would end up higher than the guard. Colton wanted to get around it, did not want to leave this stagger here, making the easy double peel. make a bit of a plan B call there halfway down. They wanted to hit just off the nose on the other side. Still gets rid of the double corner. His shooter does roll over and protects that blue stone at the back of the 8-foot. That may still be a factor before the end's over. It's going to make for a difficult blank. A lot of rocks yet to come before that can be an option. It's going to overcurl a little bit, but it leaves the side of the stone that if you're Colton Flasch, you're okay with that. This is still a tough shot to pass it by the red. For Clybrik, he needs to move these rocks in the 4-foot. Won't be terribly upset if he moves his own. They would love to get the little flop under cover. Doubles player is used to getting up and sweeping his own stones. So they've still got 2 brushers even with only 3 players. Not able to get by there though, and actually leaves a better cover on the 2 stones in the 4-foot. It's Kleibrink sitting one. Curl now. Well, puts the blue onto the red, but really doesn't move the red very far, and now he's lost the angle on the blue-red at the top 4-foot. It gives Kleibrink room to get in there and possibly set up his deuce. That ice, I have to think they're playing the in-off on the blue stone that's right behind the broom. A hair out on the release. Gets the hit, makes a little bit of a roll, not enough to get, well, I was going to say not enough to get second shot, but I'm looking at the overhead. It's close. That stone is out in the open, though. It would be very thin to try to play the red double, but you could play just hit and roll in front. The other option might be throw a little more weight, come off the red onto the blue, and then if you can hit the back end of the blue, your shooter comes into that red and you can move it that way. They are debating the freeze. It's a great end result if you make it. The problem is there's no real good spot if you don't make it perfect. So it looks like they have opted for the hit and roll off the red. Probably can't get shot rock off this. You'd have to be really thin on the first one, and you'd almost have to play it like a double. But if they can hit and roll back to the top of that button area, makes it very tough to score two, and either Kleibrink won't really have a way to get this stone out. I think perhaps that might have been a bit of an audible there from Caitlin Schneider. Saw the line as that was coming down, thought they had a chance to make it thin enough to move that red, and a great call on the brush. Moves the red far enough back that it is now Flasch sitting two. Kyler Kleibrink looking at the run back on it is his own guard. And if he could hit it, I heard him say just a hair low. Straight back, he could stick it on that shot stone and be shot rock, but if he hits it into the middle of the two, and that's getting pretty greedy when you're playing a run back, but he'll make contact with one of the blue stones, nudges them both, but doesn't remove either. And now for the Flasch team, like right now, Kyler Kleibrink has the double. Now the second stone probably goes onto the red, so it's probably just for one. If you place this stone in a good spot, Kyler Kleibrink's going to have a hard time just scoring here. The nose hit wouldn't score now. He'd probably have to play the double off the one on the left-hand side of the 4-foot into the back of the one on the button. So anything between those two takes that shot away, and if you bring it in tight enough, that's why they're looking at bringing it into the 8-foot. You could have him looking at 4 here with perhaps no shot to score. He does have the 2 corner guards. He could try some kind of a run back on those, might be able to still get to the shot rock, but boy, that's not the shot you'd like to have to play against 4 when you're already down 2. Tap the ice. Kyler Kleibrink. This is all about eliminating, I think. don't know that he thinks he can get all four of them. If you hit the first one right on the nose, you probably get three. I guess the question would be, does it get the one at the back, and does the first stone spin out? Far runs it back, catches the second one, does catch that third stone, and boy, did he manage to score here. No, looks like the blue stone stayed far enough into the house that it will be another steal of one for Colton Flasch. They continue to put the pressure on. They take a 3-0 lead into the fourth end. Clybrik will still have last rock.
Our partnership with Curl Canada is phenomenal. I mean, to be able to have a partnership like that at the national level, to be a part of the events that take place across Canada is phenomenal. To have our product available in those venues is phenomenal. But it really is. Curling is really, for us, it's a grassroots sport. To be able to connect within the communities that are supporting the teams, just like yourselves, the clubs, the provincial level organizations as well. For our ability to be partners with Curl Manitoba, Curl Sask, Curl Alberta, and Curl BC.
It's an exciting sport to watch. It fits really well with our brands. There's lots of people at the rinks watching you guys curl who are sipping on an 016, which fits really well for us. And have the opportunity to celebrate with you guys makes it even that much better at the end of the day.
gave Kevin there on the. I think this is good.
We don't actually have player mics yet for this draw, but we do have mics out on the ice level, and I have to say, I feel like the Flash team is, maybe they know where the mics are and they're turning their heads toward them. I'm not sure, but I can hear them a lot better than I can hear the Kleibrink team. So it helps me when Kyler puts his broom down like that. They're looking at the corner freeze. There we go. The problem for the Clybrik team here right now is that stone is just delivered by Calvin Schneider. It's not shot rock, but it's in a really good spot for the Flash team. There's not a lot you can do with it. There's not much you can do to put in second shot now where you might not leave a double. Well, they're going to look again at the wide in-turn draw. I'm not sure you can even get second shot here, but you can get third. And perhaps more importantly, you can get third without leaving a double. They jumped the sweep on this one. And doesn't sound like it's going to get around the guard. Calling the sweep now, you heard him say line it up, trying to line up the two guards into something in the house, and it's going to overcurl that too. You saw Colton Flasch getting down to see how much he could see of the blue stone. They got by the guard by a lot on that last draw, and he only really needs to move it up about 8 inches to be shot rock. If he can move it up just a little over a foot, he could put it right on the face of that red stone. Probably doesn't look great from the hacks, but with the amount of curl there, this is definitely... Indication from the hack in is that you can see a small quarter, and that's always interesting. A lot of times when you ask the lead down there who doesn't have to throw it, he'll tell you can see half a rock here. I think the options they're looking at are the double run back, blue onto red, or the draw tap. concern about the draw tap is if you don't get enough of that stone, you push it on an angle and you're still not shot rock. I think the indication there from Catlin Schneider, we play it tight if we rub the guard and end up in the rings. That's probably not a bad result either. So opting for the tap. And I think the discussion was we're going to play this tight by the guard. If we rub the guard, that's not a bad result. So you're apt to see the sweep here come in very late. We're going to play this tight to the guard. By the guard now, can they get enough curl to tap it straight back? And he does. That's a great shot by Colton Flasch, continuing here through 4 ends of play to put some pressure on. Taps it up frozen. He's got shot rock. This is one where the guy in my position with Mike is supposed to give you the options, and Clybrik doesn't really have that many options right now. We try to come around wide on that out turn side and corner freeze to the blue that was just tapped up. But if you ever leave a double on the reds, you could be facing 4 with your last one again. That out turn draw is the only thing I see where if you could lock it on the corner really good, you might have a chance for 2. Tyler looking at you come by the blue, maybe sit in the back corner of the button. You wouldn't leave a double that way, but if Colton ever froze to it, you wouldn't be able to score at all. The Flasch team certainly hasn't given him much to work with. And Colton Flasch, through 4 ends, his first stone every end, he's put on some big pressure. This is really curling. I don't know if he's got the weight. And that's going to come up short. I don't know whether they're... I thought I heard Chris say 8. Not positive that I heard what he said. And of course, with the mics the way they are, I could have been hearing something off another sheet. But 8 should indicate that it was behind the tee line. So he didn't want to sweep early, perhaps thinking it was a little strong. And I don't know whether that grabbed something or if he's got one stone that just doesn't run the same. At any rate, it ends up in a really bad spot for the Kleibrink team. Hooks a corner of it underneath the blue guard, so he doesn't even have access to tap it. Colton Flasch will just look to play a corner guard now and take away the draw path to the button, and it might be another steal of one here for Colton Flasch. Certainly going to be a difficult shot for Clybrik. Probably questions in his mind about draw weight after that first stone. Brushers had picked this one up early. Colton was looking for a high guard, wanted to get it out wide, and maybe pulled the string a little bit on that one. So the good news for Kleibrink is all you have to do is draw to the button to pick up your first point of the game, and at least you can see half of it. This might be the easiest shot he's had to look at so far, and it's not a gimme. They pick up the brush right away, and Skipper even comes out to join on this one. Line looks good. Now it's a question of whether or not he's got enough weight, and I think this one's going to come up short as well. So short on another draw for Kleibrink. It's another steal of one for Colton Flasch. He's got a 4-0 lead through 4 ends of play.
Our partnership with curling in general is phenomenal, and being able to partner with a team like Team Flasch has been fantastic over the last couple of years. And for us to be able to extend that to a 4-year commitment, we're really proud to be a part of your team and to work with you guys, and we wish you nothing but the best as you work towards that Olympic dream. And we're glad to be part of it and be a part of the ride.
The reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
First stone of the 5th end brought into the top corner of the button by Dan Marsh, and once again it'll be the Clyburn team looking for some corner guards here. They need to get some offense generated. 4 ends already in the book. You're trailing by a score of 4-0, and it's an 8-end game. You pick up 2 here. You've still got lots of time, but in a lot of ways for the Clyburn team, it probably feels a lot worse than 4. They just haven't been able to get anything going. Whereas on the other side of this, the Flash team, even in ends where they started out trying to play it fairly open, pressure. The call was to come into the rings with this stone all the way. They weren't looking to throw any guards with a 4-point lead. You don't need guards. Put a few rocks in the middle and force Clybrik to, at some point in time, have to deal with those. You hope he leaves you some doubles and you can eliminate his end that way. First things first. Another corner guard attempt, this time a tight one. I'd like to get it in behind the one that was just thrown. So 2 corner guards on the same side. Try to keep them in line. It's very similar to the play that we've seen for years on the center line. You see more teams doing this with double corners now, playing them on the same side. Part of the reason for that, of course, with the big curl that we have a lot of times, and certainly here in Martensville, you throw corner guards on opposite sides and you might not have a path left to get to the button. 5 rock free guard zone in play here, so not able to remove this stone from play. They're going to play the tick to move it towards the center in a position where they might have a chance to double peel something later. Makes contact. They caught a little thicker than they probably would have liked, and this one's going to go all the way through the back of the house and will touch the dividers. So that is a free guard zone violation. That stone goes back. The shooter will be removed. Tyler Kleibrink now with 2 corner guards. Time to come around and see if he can't use those and start to generate some offense here. Boy, great job by Dustin Kaltoff on the brush there. Actually buried that behind the tight guard that's just outside the rings. And even if you remove this long one, it's still just about dead buried. Just playing the single peel here. And I think you might see, well, he's going to look at playing into the rings. I thought he might play a couple more corner guards and just force the Flasch team to waste a couple over there first. I think he's waiting for some comment from the other end is what they like. I think you play the corner guard here. The problem with playing to the middle, you play to the middle, Colton Flasch is going to play the double on those 2 on the right-hand side as we look at it. And then if you come to the middle again, you're grouping your stones. So you play a corner guard here. You know he's going to peel the corner, the long corner. You are going to make a play into the middle eventually. It all comes down to timing, really. You have to decide at what point can we make that play to the corner when Colton Flasch isn't going to have time to set up doubles. And it's always a little trickier for the commentator counting the stones when you got 2 guys throwing 3 each, but that would still have been the second's last stone, I think. And you might get a break here. Well, he almost got 2 breaks. He left 1 guard for sure and almost pushed the second one into the rings. Well, now you can make a play in the house. So looking to make a play on shot rock and roll behind cover. Could actually make a play on either stone. Try to roll behind cover. The problem with rolling off the top one is you're going to roll pretty close to your own. The problem with rolling off this one is you're probably behind the tee line. So the double's not there. I think Colton Flasch saying any kind of roll is going to roll underneath that red. We've actually got room to roll the other way. So looking for a nose or perhaps even roll to the open side. The only thing you don't want to do, I guess, here would be to roll right underneath the blue where you might leave him a chance with the double and the roll. Well, they get a bit of a roll towards the red. I'm not sure you wanted that roll. So a chance to play the hit on the stone on the center line, roll towards the other one. You've got a couple of options. You could probably roll right to the corner of it, sit shot rock, or roll into the pocket of the red blue and have second and third behind cover. Or if you hit it just like that, you can probably get the double. But now, did you leave a double back? It looks like there's room by the guard. Needed to hit that first one if you were even going to play that. Needed to hit that first one just a little bit thicker so that you catch the front end of that blue stone and spin up in behind cover a bit. Colton Flasch throws the up weight so well. This shot really in his wheelhouse for sure. Even if the double's made, though, for Kleibrink, you've got two corner guards, and you might be able to corner freeze to the stone that Flasch leaves behind. Now, this might overcurl. He might not get the second stone. Nudges it and does sit for shot rock. Probably about half behind cover. Boy, even when you do get a slight miscue out of Colton Flasch, he still puts some pressure on you. Tyler Kleibrink looking at playing the short red onto blue. Now it's not an easy shot because the blue corner's in his way. But if he can make the short run, he could be sitting two, and both at least a little bit protected. You make this perfect. Colton Flasch can probably see a bit of the red stone that's in the 12-foot now, so he'd be able to pick it out, but he'd have to leave you the shot for two if he does that. First things first, he's got to get by the blue corner. Now they're looking to get fairly close to the nose so they can hold the shooter and maybe protect those stones in the rings. Pushes it just through the back and did indeed hold that shooter in a spot where I'm not sure there's room to come through there with a takeout. That's what Colton and Catlin are looking at. Dan Marsh asking, do we ever draw? There is perhaps the short angle on the red. You can probably make at least a double the guard and one of the rocks in the rings, so you hold him to a chance for two. I don't think there's any draw you can play where Tyler Kleibrink doesn't have a shot for three. There is the one blue stone, but that overhead view, you can see that is a long raise. It's there, and these teams are really good at the run backs. You could play it. But playing the short slash on the red, you feel pretty certain you're going to get one of them out of there anyway. And there is the chance, I heard Catlin say it, you could get the triple. It'd be hard to jam this in there so solid that you leave 2 reds in the rings. You feel pretty confident throwing this one when they're this close together that you're going to get 2 reds anyway, and if you hit it perfectly, you might get all 3 of them. Clybrik sitting back now, at least knowing that it won't be a steal this end, and desperately hoping he's got a chance for at least 2. They called the brush on right away. Catches 1, but does jam it dead on that stone. He wanted to catch the top red stone, drives it by that, dead jams it on the second one, and it is a chance for Clybrik to draw for 3. And this is a little bit unusual, but we saw Kyler come up light on a couple of draws last end. So rather than play the draw to the middle, he's going to play the draw path that he feels that he knows the speed going towards that corner. Rusher had picked it up early, but now backing away, just kind of cleaning it in. Going to come down to his own 2 stones, and it will be 3 points on the board for Clybrik. He jumps right back into this game. Colton Flasch with a 4-3 lead, and he'll have last rock when we come back for the 6th.
Our partnership with curling in general is phenomenal, and being able to partner with a team like Team Flasch has been fantastic over the last couple of years, and for us to be able to extend that to a 4-year commitment, we're really proud to be a part of your team and to work with you guys, and we wish you nothing but the best as you work towards that Olympic dream, and we're glad to be part of it and be a part of the ride.
Imagine a place with endless possibilities. Imagine a place where people come together to build families, businesses, and communities. Imagine a place where small-town values and progressive qualities are in perfect harmony. Imagine a place rich with so much vitality. Imagine your future in Martensville.
Sean Joyce with you here from the Curling Stadium Martensville Major. Live coverage day 2. This is draw number 4. Both of these teams coming in with a record of 1-1, and Colton Flasch had everything going his way for the first 4 ends. Suddenly, with a big score of 3 for Clybrik, they've got a little bit of momentum. We'll see if they can use that to build a strong second half here. They certainly did look a little bit down a bit in the first half, and you can't blame them. Every time they turned around, Colton Flasch had them in all kinds of trouble. But a very solid end for the Clybrik team in the 5th. Even if Colton Flasch makes a pretty good shot in his last one. He's probably not getting the triple very often, but you expect the double. You're still going to get a chance for your 2. As it turns out, they get 3. Gets them right back in the game. Conversely, on the other side, if you're looking at the Flash team, yeah, okay, we gave up 3, but if you told us before the game that we were going to be 1-up playing 6 with last rock, they would take that all day long. And this is a very good front-running team. They defend the lead very well. Wanted to get to the inside of their own shot stone here. Gonna nudge it just a little bit. It does sit for second shot behind cover. Shot rock stone that they just nudged back is open in the 4-foot. Kleibrink team not wanting to see a blank end here is gonna play the freeze. They need some rocks in play. Certainly the 2 guards lined up well for the Kleibrink team. Well, he was trying to come down to the face of that blue stone, and that's not the first stone for the Kleibrink team where we've seen them come up short on that particular side. Don't know if there's a spot in the ice that's got them fooled a little bit, or the speed maybe a little bit different down that one path. Kyler Kleibrink himself had come up light twice on that spot in the 4th end, and then when he had his chance to draw for 3 last end, actually drew towards the corner just so that he didn't have to play through that path coming to the middle. Five rocks in play now, so able to start peeling guards. A little thin on the first one, nudges the second guard, and the shooter comes back and jiggles things around in the house. But only the 1 rock removed from play. Does get rid of the lineup on the 2 center guards, so not all bad for the Flash team. It does leave a pocket, though, on the 2 stones at the top 4-foot, and that's where Dustin Kaltoff is going to try to put this stone. And just a little bit strong on this one, comes down and nudges it, and stayed on the outside of it too. You know, if you get to the inside of that stone and nudge it that much, you're still in the pocket. So Kevin Marsh will look to hit and roll over behind cover here. Boy, you're going to have to really go to hold the shooter here. Make contact. I don't know if he's going to have enough to get it out. Does. Pushes his own stone behind the tee line and spins up. That probably helps the Kleibrink team a little bit. You're almost committed here if you're Kleibrink. There's not a good way to hold your opposition right now. If you can make the hit and roll, you've certainly cut down the rings. Don't think you're playing a double here. Doesn't look like it with that broom. Needs to get to the inside of that stone. He's close. Makes the hit. And oh, they got caught right in between. It's going to actually roll a little bit too far. Looks like Flasch sitting 1 right now. Colton's first thought was to play the draw, and it's Catlin Schneider from the other end, thinking that perhaps, given the scoreboard, we better peel the guard and make sure that we've got a shot to score at the end. You take 1 here, you're 2 up with 2 ends left to play. That's a pretty good spot. Most teams will take that. It's really easy to get caught looking at the situation in the house and think we got a chance to score a big end here, but you don't really need a big end. You just need to make sure you don't give up a steal. 2 is great. 1 is still okay. Boy, that's a tough hit that he's looking at. You roll the shooter out, you might bring the blank back into play as well. Quick discussion between Dustin and Chris, and now Dustin coming down to the other end to communicate with Kyler. I think the problem they're looking at is if you play the freeze to the back one, Colton's got all of that blue stone at the top 8 foot, just runs it straight back, and he could make both reds fly, perhaps sit as many as 3. Now looking at, can you get to the inside of the blue, roll your shooter under the corner a little bit, and jiggle both blues? Not trying to steal when you're getting behind the corner, but they're looking at how can they force here. There's not really a steal situation there right now. They don't want a blank. You want to put this stone in a position where you're not going to leave a double on the red. I think that's what they've settled on. The call here, hack line-ish perhaps, maybe hack, try to get across the face of the blue stone, nudge it back through the back of the 4 foot, and maybe leave some kind of pocket back there. It's not going to get by the red guard, so now it's a question of where can you get the shooter off this. Well, gets another couple of biters out of it. I don't really care whether they get the double here or not. They're just mostly concerned about that stone that's just off the center line. Is the only stone that really worries them right now. It's the one that the Kleibrink team could use. Now, as a bonus, you'd love to get the shooter into the rings here. He's going to come into the red stone, but a little bit too much on the front end of it and spins up and out. Flasch sitting 1. That stone you see at the back of the 8 foot is the red stone corner to it that's second. Now the fact for the Clybrik team that they've got that little biter in the 12 foot, if you're looking at just trying to get a force, you could play the double on the blues right now. You would be sitting 2 even if you lost your shooter. It's a little delicate. You'd hate to ever risk running that blue onto your own red stone. So it looks like playing the double. Blue on to blue. If you really wanted to, I guess the other way you could try to play it is blue. Hit the blue on the other side, drive it across the top of the red, and get rid of both blues that way. The problem is you could lose your shooter and the red stone in the rings. You'd like to be sitting 2 after this. That's what you need to get your force. Well, I think they're going to plan B now. They were trying to run the blue onto the blue, but this is going to over curl. Puts blue onto red. Doesn't kill either of the blue stones. He does lose the one red, and now it's Kleibrink sitting shot, but second and third belonging to Flasch, and a chance now to hit and sit 3 for the time being. That might have been the Kleibrink's team best chance to get a force here, but it was never going to be an easy shot. That was always a delicate double to pass it by the red stone, and not able to make it. Colton Flasch really just concerned that he doesn't leave a triple here. He doesn't mind leaving a double. It's going to be hard to avoid leaving some kind of double. Makes the hit and rolls to the corner of his own stone. Well, there's a double there for sure, but I don't think it catches the third stone. You saw Dustin Kaltoff lining it up. I'm pretty sure it goes over the top of that one. You make the double, you're going to leave a nose hit back for 2. But I don't see much else here for the Kleibrink team. You don't want to give them any more than 2. So that's the call, looking for the double. Nose hit will get it. You could get away with a little bit broom side, but you don't have a lot of room to roll before you're not second shot anymore. They were on the brush early, now backed off. Makes the hit, but rolls a little bit too far. Out of play. It'll be an opportunity now for Colton Flasch. Already sitting 1. Just needs full 12 foot. Can pick up his 2 points here and restore a 3-point lead. Now this is a path we saw Clybrik come up light a couple of times in this path 2 ends ago, and at least I was wondering, is this particular path maybe getting just a little bit heavier? We even saw Kyler last end when he had his chance to draw for 3, went to the corner rather than draw this path. Picking the brush up early, but still just really the one brusher. Now cleaning. Well, no mistake here from Colton Flasch. He'll bring that stone right into the button area. Picks up his 2 points. And after 6 ends of play, Colton Flasch with a 6-3 lead. Tyler Kleibrink will have last rock in the 7th.
reason we trust Western Sales with our business is the people. I'm sure that there's 100 years experience coming out of that shop. We trust them because we do a CMI on our combine and on our tractor. When our equipment comes out of Western Sales, it's going to be good, because if it's not, they send us another combine, they send us another tractor. And we're not naive to the fact that that probably costs them a lot of money. So we just know that the service that we're getting at Western Sales is above par to everybody else.
Six to 3 here for Colton Flasch as we begin the 7th end. They bring the first stone into the corner of the 4-foot. We're looking to keep that in front of the tee line. It slides a little bit behind. Might work for Kleibrink later on in the end, but they'll look to throw corner guards for now. Kleibrink able to score 3 in the 5th end with last draw. He's certainly going to look to build some offense here. You don't want to come into the final end down 3, so you'll go all out for your deuce here. If you can get the 3rd point, great. But if you get 2, you're in a position where you have to steal the 8th and steal the extra. Not ideal, but the way this game has gone, that's what you're looking at now if you're Kleibrink. And at least steals of a single point aren't impossible. You've got a playbook for that. You got to get your deuce here in 7. We saw this play from the Flash team a couple of times last night, and once earlier in this game as well. The shot you see a lot more commonly nowadays in the doubles play. You can't peel this corner guard yet, but if you can move it, you might be able to make a play on it on the next one if you push it into the rings, or at least perhaps set up an easier double peel later. But in this case, all they've done is make it a tight corner guard. Might change the shot for the Kleibrink team. You probably throw the corner guard on the same side higher. Same side as the rock that's already in play. So he has to play the other turn this time. You'd like this nice and high lined up with the other corner guard. And that's what you get. Fifth rock of the end about to be delivered here, so not able to peel yet. Colton Flasch looking for another one brought into the top 8-foot area here. Not really playing these as offensive shots. When you see the teams playing this, and you see it a lot nowadays on tour, you got to play a few rocks into the 4-foot area in the middle. You know that the other team eventually has to deal with them, and when they do, you're hoping they leave you some doubles. Perhaps curled a little further off the center line than they would have liked. Didn't matter where that rock stopped. You were going to see this attempt to come around those 2 corner guards. And then the peel attempts can start. And I talked about it a little bit in the 5th end. Then it comes down to timing. If the Flash team is peeling corners and you've got one buried, you have to make a decision. If you're Kleibrink, how long can you avoid those 2 stones in the middle? A bit of a miscue on the brush there. They rub the guard. Now it does leave them 3 corners. It's not a horrible result. And the one that was just delivered is probably tight enough to the rings that you could split it. No obvious double peels there. Anything that you're trying to run more or less straight back, there's always a chance of leaving a rock in the ring, or rock in play, and Colton Flasch not prepared to take that risk, so just going to play the peel on the longer guard. Makes the hit and the long roll across and out of play. So looking to play the freeze here on the stone at the back of the forefoot. Hoping that Colton Flasch has a bit of a miscue if they try to peel it out of there. Now this is going to curl by it, and this is a tricky way to get a rock buried. Comes between the two blue stones in the house and comes to rest back 12 foot, partially behind cover in the one in the front 8. It's hard to fathom when you look at that from the hack-in view, the camera view that we're looking at now. He came between those two blue stones and out in the open past it. And that is a stone in the, would be equivalent to top 4, but it's in the 8 foot. Comes down to the stone in the back with bumper weight, hits it. A little surprised they didn't make more of an effort to roll that shooter right out of play. The only team it's helping back there is Kleibrink. Well, they gave Dustin a lot more ice, but he was also a little bit heavy on the first one. Probably took a little bit weight off and maybe got into a bit of a different path, and that comes up short. Still a red guard protecting a blue stone that's behind the tee line, not a stone that Colton Flasch wants to leave there. Can they get 2 guards out of this? Does, catches 2 guards and actually brings the shooter into the rings as well. Three rocks in the middle now. They can't really just draw around the corner. They don't have enough rocks left to deal with the ones in the middle. So going to play a bumper weight hit on the one that was just delivered and try to eliminate a blue and roll behind the corner. Looking for some extra curl here. Going to be just a little bit thin. Does he get enough of a spin back to catch a bite? He might be. almost too far over to see it from our camera angle too. It's close to biting. However, for now, Colton Flasch sitting 2 for sure. If you draw here to sit 3, it becomes really hard to bring that stone back into play. You could just hit it. Colton pretty sure it's out by the sounds of it. They're pretty good pretty good shape now for the Flash team, even if you don't throw. So the question is, where do you put the third one where you don't make things better for the Kleibrink team? And I think in the end, it maybe is coming down here to, if you don't play this freeze, or this draw at least towards your own red blue stone at the back of the forefoot, they're anticipating that's the shot Kleibrink is probably going to play. And if he locks it on and you stuff it, he actually gets his shot at 2. So they're trying to take the freeze away here. Colton sounded pretty sure that that was out, but I've seen Catlin look at it 3 times already, and it's close. Rushers were sure this needed to go right out of his hand. Line looks really good coming in. Comes to rest, top of the 8-foot, does protect that stone at the back 4. Don't really see much else for Tyler Kleibrink other than the freeze, but with where Colton put that one, it's going to be tough to get right to the nose. And if you're only about 2/3 frozen, Colton will play the angle run on the blue stone about 1.5 feet off the center line. It's going to be such a short run. So they're looking at maybe rubbing in off that stone and get the freeze that way, take the short runner away as well. In the end, going back to the straight draw. Tyler Kleibrink had one end that went his way, the 5th end, and other than that, Colton Flasch has had him in all kinds of trouble all game. This team for September, firing on all cylinders. Rushers were on this one, or the brusher was on this one right away. He's going to have a hard time getting by the stone that Colton just threw. And I don't think he's going to get by. They don't want to leave it staggered there. So Colton Flasch sitting 3 right now. So which shot do you want to take away? He's got the wide in-turn draw that basically he just missed, and they have struggled with that path. He's also got the hit and roll into the 4-foot. That's the one you see them indicating now. Is that maybe the shot you want to take away? certainly looks like that's the one they're looking at. You know, the draw is there, but the Kleibrink team has struggled with a draw down that path the whole game. Looking at coming down and playing the in off on that blue themselves. They can actually get right to the corner of the button that way and make that draw even tougher. Well, in the end, they're going to go back to the draw. Colton did just throw this. And I think what it's coming down to here is they think that with the gap that you see there, you can only see enough air to maybe hit half a rock, and that might roll too flat to get shot rock. So they're prepared to leave that shot for Kyler. Great shot here. If he's by the red, looks like he is. And they bring that in for, I think it's about third shot right now, but it does cut off that path towards the button. Kyler's wondering, is it there to play the short run red onto the two blues, and would you ever get all four blues? And it might be there. He's looking at red into the pocket of the two blues, the one that Colton just threw. The one on the left, as we look at it in the overhead view, that one's going to come onto the stone at the corner of the 8-foot. Then the question is, does it come back and clip the one in the back of the 4-foot? Those first three blues are so close together. If your nose on the red, you're touching the three blues for sure. The question will be whether or not it catches that fourth one at all. And then it's a matter of how far you get all four of them going, because your shooter's only going to be just full 12. No, he's not light, but he might have been just a little bit full. Huffs it, still gets all four of them moving, but it's going to be a steal of two for Colton Flasch, and with a 5-point lead, I think we might see handshakes. Give them a second here to decide. No, looks like they're gonna, well, they're going back and forth on it. I see one person pulling the gloves off, and yes, they are going to shake hands, so that'll go into the books as an 8-3 victory here for Colton Flasch. They move to 2-0. The Kleibrink team will be now at 1-1. Both teams continuing on. They've got 5 games in the preliminary round, and the top 5 teams make the playoffs. Another solid performance from the Flasch team. They had the last rock in the opening end, same as they did last night, and seemed to control the play. And through 2 games in this event, they have got to be very happy with the way they are playing, and that 2-0 record puts them in great spot early on as one of the teams in a position to get into the playoffs. And that playoff round, of course, will be on Monday. We'll have all the action for you all weekend long, including the 3 playoff draws on Monday. We want to thank everyone for joining us here this afternoon. 2 more draws yet today. Join us for all the action right here on the Curling Stadium and CBC Gem.
place with endless possibilities. Imagine a place where people come together to build families, businesses, and communities. Imagine a place where small town values and progressive qualities are in perfect harmony. Imagine a place rich with so much vitality. Imagine your future in Martensville.